If you had to pick, would you prefer order and security that restrict your personal freedoms, or unrestricted freedom that carries the risk of inequality and chaos? Two nations, two distinct routes, and one crucial query. Is freedom, which can occasionally result in chaos, better than security and order, which compromise individual liberties? We will examine the negative aspects of China and America, two global giants, today. The following video may make you think, is it feasible to have power for free? Let's discover these two nations' secrets: control or freedom. Examining America and China's negative aspects. Overview: the difference between two superpowers. China and America are two big, strong nations that dominate a variety of fields, including politics, the military, and the economics. These countries reflect two opposing worldviews: China, the land of order and control, and America, the land of liberties. They also have varying effects on the world. But there is a darker side that is less visible behind these abilities and developments. In order to discover what is behind the scenes of both superpowers, we will delve into the complexities of the issues these two nations face, covering economic, social, political, environmental, and historical facets. Are you prepared? Let's begin. Section 1. America's dark side. America, which is renowned for its democracy and individual liberties, has demonstrated success and strength in a variety of fields. However, the darker side of this nation exposes unexpected facets of people's life. The freedom of gun. Violence destroys security. With the right to carry arms guaranteed by the Constitution, America is among the nations with the most firearms per person. What has this independence cost its citizens, though? Gun-related violence claims the lives of around 40,000 people annually. The scope of this dilemma is demonstrated by mass shootings such as the Sandy Hook massacre, which claimed the lives of school children, and the Las Vegas shooting, which was one of the worst in American history. Many families are afraid to send their kids to school. Two groups of individuals have been split up by this issue: supporters of the right to bear arms, who see it as an essential component of personal liberties. Opponents who think that community security is at risk due to gun freedom. Whose American dream is it? Class divide. The American dream, which holds that anybody can succeed and become wealthy through hard effort, has long been associated with America, one of the biggest economies in the world. But is everyone able to achieve this dream? More than 40% of America's wealth is held by 1% of the population. Millions of people in this nation, on the other hand, are unable to pay for even the most basic necessities. The homelessness situation has gotten so bad in places like Los Angeles that people are living in tents on the streets. Many people have to take out large debts or pay hefty sums for healthcare and education. Structural racism, a persistent history. Throughout its history, America has struggled with social injustice, racial discrimination, and enslavement. These problems are still evident in this nation's structure. Latinos and African Americans have less access to education, fewer employment options, and lower salaries. George Floyd's death and other instances of police brutality against blacks have provoked nationwide demonstrations. Additionally, minorities are disproportionately targeted by the legal system. African Americans are more likely to be incarcerated. Corruption in politics. When money is everything. Democracy in the United States has long been regarded as one of the best systems of governance. However, does it accurately reflect the people? There are numerous concerns regarding the influence of large corporations and affluent lobbyists on political decision-making. For instance, heavy industries and oil lobbyists have obstructed the enactment of environmental legislation. Big capitalists are the ones that many American politicians prioritize over the general populace. Environmental disaster. The price of economic development. One of the world's top generators of greenhouse gases is the United States. Climate change has been sped up by excessive fossil fuel use. Water crises and air pollution plague some American cities, and policies like the country's decision to leave the Paris Agreement demonstrate how uncommitted it is to environmental challenges. Section 2. China's negative aspects. China, a nation that has experienced tremendous industrial and economic progress in recent decades, has emerged as a major global force. Has this advancement, however, been free? Control over everything through government surveillance. Despite being one of the technologically most advanced nations, China frequently uses its technology to monitor and manipulate its citizens. With more than 200 million cameras nationwide, this sophisticated surveillance camera system virtually tracks every citizen's every step. A social credit system that assigns residents a score depending on their actions and decides which benefits they are eligible for. Human rights concerns, the cost of law and order. China has frequently come under fire for violating human rights. One of the most obvious instances of these abuses is the forced labor camps for Uyghurs, where members of religious and ethnic minority are detained against their will. The government ruthlessly suppresses political opponents and severely restricts the right to free speech and assembly. Environmental crisis, industrialization at the price of nature. China has become one of the most polluted nations in the world due to its fast industrial growth. Major cities like Beijing have such bad air pollution that people occasionally need masks to walk the streets. Pollution of the land and water has detrimental effects on rural life and agriculture, as well as on human health. Overview. Selecting between control and freedom. Which would you prefer? A structured order and stability that limits human freedoms, or unrestricted freedom with the potential for inequality and chaos? In this investigation, we look at how China and America, two superpowers, strike a balance between control and freedom. We explore these countries' darker sides, posing the query, is power possible without sacrifice? Come along with us as we reveal these global giants' secret reality. Control or freedom? Analyzing the secrets of Chinese and American policies. Overview. The two superpowers dichotomy. Two powerful world leaders in politics, economy, and military might. China and the United States represent opposing ideologies. China is renowned for its tight control and governance, whereas America is praised for its individual liberties. Both countries have darker, less obvious sides, despite their strength and advancement. You will learn about their historical, social, political, economic, and environmental difficulties in this movie. Are you prepared to start? Section 1. The Dark Side of America. Despite its reputation for democracy and individual liberties, America faces significant internal issues. The price of freedom. Gun violence. High rates of gun ownership are a result of America's fundamental right to carry weapons. Unfortunately, this freedom leads to more than 40,000 gun-related deaths per year, including catastrophic shootings like Sandy Hook in Las Vegas, which have polarized public opinion on gun rights and caused widespread terror. Divide by class. The unattainable American dream. Despite its reputation as a nation of opportunity, America's reality is quite different. More than 40% of wealth is held by the top 1%, while many others struggle to pay for healthcare, education, and basic living expenditures, which exacerbates homelessness and economic inequality. The struggle against structural racism. Racial prejudice and historical enslavement still exist, impacting African Americans and Latinos with poorer incomes, fewer employment options, and limited access to high-quality education. Nationwide demonstrations are still being sparked by high-profile instances of police brutality and an unfair legal system. Money's impact on political corruption. In spite of its democratic principles, powerful businesses and lobbyists have a significant impact on American politics, frequently at the price of the general welfare, especially when it comes to environmental laws. Bugin. The cost of progress in the environmental crisis. As one of the world's top emitters of greenhouse gases, America faces serious environmental problems, such as air and water pollution, made worse by policies like the country's decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement. Section 2. The Dark Side of China. China's quick economic growth has not come without moral and environmental consequences. Government monitoring, a perceiving state. In addition to a social credit system that rewards or penalizes residents based on their behavior, China's advanced technology powers a massive surveillance network with over 200 million cameras that monitor almost every aspect of daily life. Violations of human rights. The price of domination. China's human rights record is still being criticized for things like Uyghur forced labor camps and harsh limitations on political opposition and free expression, degradation of the environment, industrial effects. Extreme air and water pollution brought on by China's industrial expansion has an effect on human health and agriculture, making masks and other protective gear necessary in highly polluted places. In order to encourage viewers to consider the real costs of power and governance, we hope that this video will offer a nuanced perspective of how both countries negotiate the intricate relationship between freedom and control, the Communist Party and absolute power in political corruption. Despite assertions that it is advancing social justice, corruption is still a major problem in China. Many politicians abuse their positions for personal gain, which has a negative impact on industries and housing. Section 3. A comparison of control and freedom. America provides great personal freedoms, but faces problems like violence and inequality. China, at the expense of significant limitations on individual liberties, the country enjoys swift development and rigorous social order, security and surveillance. China already has more than 200 million security cameras, or roughly one camera for every 7 people, and is expected to have 600 million by 2025. America, more than 400 mass shootings, or more than one every day on average, were reported in 2023 alone. America has the largest jail population in the world, with over 2.2 million inmates, about 655 per 100,000. China. Officially, there are roughly 1.7 million convicts, but this number probably does not include those in camps for forced labor. China is the largest emitter of greenhouse gases, accounting for 27% of global emissions in 2021 with 10 billion tons of CO2. America, with 5 billion tons of CO2, or 14% of the world's total, it is the second largest emitter. America leads the world in military spending, with an estimated $801 billion allocated to the military in 2022. China comes in second with about $293 billion. Internet access and censorship. China severely restricts information flow through the Great Firewall and blocks numerous international platforms. America. Despite being free, the internet is plagued with bogus news and disinformation that affects social issues and elections. Income inequality. In China, workers in large cities make roughly $1,000 per month, but in rural areas, this falls to less than $300. America. Although the average monthly income is about $4,500, millions of people live in poverty due to stark socioeconomic differences. China is a leader in renewable energy investments, having put in place more than 320 gigawatts of solar power by 2022. America has deployed roughly 140 gigawatts despite advancements. Meat consumption. With over 55 million tons consumed yearly, China is the world's largest consumer of pork. With a yearly consumption of over 12 million tons, America is the world's largest consumer of beef. Suicide rates. As of 2020, China had a suicide rate of roughly 7.2 per 100,000 inhabitants. America, at 14.5 per 100,000, almost twice as high. China had the second highest number of billionaires in the world in 2023, with about 495 billionaires. America, with roughly 735 billionaires, it tops the list. Comparing control and freedom. Which model is your favorite? A society with more order and security at the expense of individual liberties, or one with many liberties but substantial social problems? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below.